of pressure. No, not at all. This is fun. This is deep practice. So when I get into the ring, September 25th, this is time to practice everything I know. So I'm rather experienced now, and you have to go through a lot of trials and tribulations. And I said it yesterday on my Snapchat. I just said, like, you know, I asked God for strength, and He gave me battles. And, like, you know, when I pray for strength, I want to fight the Usyk. I want to fight the champions, because that's where you find out how strong you really are. So for me, it's like, bring it on. I cherish that. I'm not asking for strength and then just want it easy.
So basically, you've got to be careful what you wish for. You've got to ask for wisdom. To get wisdom, you've got to have experiences. That's how you get wisdom.
You've got to go through certain experiences to have wisdom. And experiences aren't always in your favour. You've got to go through turbulent times. And if I want strength, wisdom, courage, and be a champion, I've got to fight the better fighter.
Those are the words of Anthony Joshua as he explains what he desires, what he wants to do, his accomplishments, and everything that he's been through. Bars. What do I think about that? I think about what he said about asking God for strength, and He gives him, how does he say, battles, right? That is a good way to build strength and experience. And he says that he has a lot of experience through the trials and the tribulations that he went through. And let's talk about some of those possible trials and tribulations to see if they actually reflect what he's talking about. First thing comes to mind is the Vladimir Klitschko fight. Very tough fight. Very exciting fight, very like the seat of your heels. He's going to either make it, or so should I say sink or swim, right? And looks like he was sinking a part of that fight, but then he started swimming, right? And he got to the other side. Now, that does, in fact, that gives you experience, no doubt about it, okay? I think the experience, though, kicked in from the first Andy Ruiz fight. I think that's the second portion of his experience, okay, or experiences. And he was beaten badly due to other factors, I'm sure, but let's keep it simple. He wasn't in shape to take on Andy Ruiz. He wasn't in the type of condition he needed to be to take on Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz was ready. Andy Ruiz had a training camp, a fight, a week off, then back into training. So he was on the height of his career based on the blessing that he received to fight the unified heavyweight champion of the world, which was himself at the time, until Andy beat that away from him. Okay, he was knocked down 4 times in that fight. Okay, he got the first knockdown. Andy got the next 4 knockdowns. Okay, so we can't forget that. And a lot of those knockdowns were just, that wasn't like a Amir Khan. Amir Khan was hit. The first knockdown was, but he was down. He felt like a sack of potatoes. Anthony Joshua, when he got hit, it's like all of his energy. I know he was badly hurt from where he got hit, right? That temple shot kind of on the side of the head, right? But he fought through that, but you can tell that he was not the same fighter when he got hit, you know, and that led to experience, to learn like, hey, this is what I need to do to overcome this particular guy. He didn't take any chances. He shredded, so what, about 12, 13 pounds. He came in that ring slim and trim, ready to bounce, ready to box, ready to move, right? And I noticed that taught him that, hey, I can't knock out everybody. So that's one of those experiences that I feel that he was talking about. And he outboxed Andy Ruiz for about 11 of those rounds. I would give Andy the second round when he split his eye open, in fact. But Andy came in well out of shape, but whose fault is that? That is, you can't blame Joshua for that, right? Only Andy. But he learned what to do to win the fight, okay? And he did that. Now, the Pulev fight, I think he learned a lot from a tricky guy that was a veteran that only had one loss at the time, that, you know, a lot of people, including Dillian White, didn't want to fight. Bars, right? So I think, you know, that is another experienced teacher. But I want to talk about his slogan, the first thing that he said: I don't fold under pressure. And that's what I want to counterpunch. And the last thing I want to counterpunch. Now, who's to say he doesn't fold under pressure? Okay? There is no way to know if Anthony Joshua is going to fold under pressure or not until he gets in the situations that put him under pressure. We have to see him under pressure to see if that's true or not. He says, hey, I don't fold under pressure. Yeah, we seen that he was tough, but we also seen that he was exhausted. So the resistance of a fighter only shows the heart of a fighter. Okay? What we've learned when he got dropped by Andy Ruiz in the 3rd round, you did see him fold under pressure. Okay? He looked like a fighter that didn't have any options. Okay? When you fold under pressure, you stop thinking. You stop focusing. You know, and the only thing we seen him do was put his hands up. And Andy Ruiz, being the shorter fighter, wailed on him and loaded, and, or should I say, unloaded bombs on him. Okay, so for him to say, hey, I don't fold under pressure, we know there are people that that are skeptical of Joshua. Why? Because Joshua hasn't showed anyone any of that adversity yet. Did he really overcome that ass beating he took in Madison Square Garden? We don't know that yet. Okay, the only time we're going to know that is he gets hurt and then he comes back like he did with Vladimir Klitschko. Now, you can't take that away from him, right? Because he did prevail and he did get the knockout in the 11th round. But until we see Anthony Joshua get in a situation or a similar situation that it's not that comfortable, he can't just sit back and, you know, once he gets hit. He got hit by Pulev, sure, we seen that, you know, but those were like kind of one punches at a time, you know, not a barrage of punches, you know, to see what he does, to see if he's with his defense. We've seen a lot of things that he worked on. Sure, those are techniques, but unfolding is a mental toughness that he was referring to. And we don't know if he will have that mental toughness until he gets put back in that same situation or similar situation that he was in with Andy Ruiz. That's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think about Anthony Joshua stating that I don't fold under pressure. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.